Hi, Social Cam. James Harold Charles Brown here with the remake of Day 25 of the Flog Challenge. And just before I begin, I'd like to point out the opinions that are expressed here on Social Cam do not reflect the opinions of the Penticton Bethel Church, its employees, its volunteers, its members, adherents, pastors, and the board of the deacons. This vlog right now is I'm going to go into kind of a rant right now. And this is with reference to the office administrator right now. I've been trying to keep her name secret for all this time, and I don't like to embarrass her publicly like this, but I have to speak the truth in love here, because that confidential email I was referring to in previous vlogs, it really bothers me. I've gotten to the point where I've been really emotionally distraught over it. Seriously. That's not good for me to be in that state. And Brenda, I understand what you said and I respect what you said. However, I've been an experienced computer user for 10 years. I know my way around the Windows operating system. I know how to hack into it safely. And I understand that router is only meant for office staff. However, I believe, in my opinion, volunteers should be treated with the same respect as staff. And I'm feeling I've been betrayed to the point where I'm getting the impression that you don't trust me. That's not right. I was a former member of the board of directors of the Okanagan Snow Community Housing Society for 2 years, from 1997 to 1999. And that was a non-profit board. That was the board of directors that got first started Common Ground Apartments before the Brain Injury Society took over that contract. It's a BC Housing subsidized housing project. I was a part of the decision making there. Furthermore, in my resume of experience, I currently serve on this Consumer Development Project Committee board of the Canadian Mental Health Association South Okanagan Similkameen branch, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And I love to help people. That's my calling in life, is helping people. And all I've been trying to do here is go by the book, and like I said, I've been only going into Pastor Darwin's sermon archives to save PowerPoint presentations, to save sermon icons, and then once I've done that, then I delete the original PowerPoint file. And I must reiterate that the original file that I copy stays in its original location where I got it from. I can't stress that enough. I don't move the file. I don't edit the file on your side of the network. I don't delete the file. Very important. And I don't add files and folders to the network. The fundamentals of file sharing on the network. It's like I adhere to that and I comply that to the letter of the law. My job as a licensed security guard depends on protecting that type of information. Confidential, very sensitive information. And that's what I believe is stored on that network. And I saw things like, for instance, one folder in particular that names a piece of software that the church uses for bookkeeping purposes. I didn't access that folder or its files. And if by chance I open a file that I realize I shouldn't be opening, I close it immediately. I don't even look at it any longer. I have to respect the integrity of the information that's stored on the system. Because let's face it, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police take very seriously Section 430 of the Criminal Code of Canada with respect to mischief, which goes as far as the unauthorized use of a computer. That's taught in Basic Security Training Level 1, the mandatory security guard training course that the Justice Institute of British Columbia approves through the province of British Columbia under the security guard and the law. That's just one part of it. And it really bothers me, Brenda, that I have to go to Pastor Darwin every time to ask for sermon icons. I don't feel it's appropriate for me to be going to him all the time and asking for sermon icons when I could be doing it responsibly by going onto the network and actually going to Darwin's folders, going into the sermon folders, right-clicking, copying, and pasting it on the web computer side of the network. I'd feel much better doing that than constantly harassing him, wasting his time. That is a Section 264 of the Criminal Code of Canada offense. I could go to jail for that. And I'm being dead honest with you. Furthermore, with respect to church bulletins, I'd rather I go into your local hard drive with the proper password, with the proper restrictions on the access to that part of your local hard drive, and actually getting a copy of that current bulletin file and pasting it on the web computer. It is much more simpler, it's much more streamlined. Or if you'd rather me bring my flash drive down to your office and copy the file that way, I'm open to that too. But for you to go into your Gmail account and you have to type the email, attach the file, send it. You've wasted 5 minutes of your time. Your time is valuable. It's like you're paid to be efficient, not counterproductive, in my opinion. And for me to come to you asking for bulletins all the time, that's also harassment, in my opinion. And I'm wasting your time. I'm not about to go wasting your time or Pastor Darwin's time, or any of the pastor's time, the church staff time. Doing things that I can easily do and I'm quite capable to do while respecting the confidentiality of the information that's stored on the network. And one of the things as a concerned development project committee member that I have to respect is confidentiality. I signed a document binding me to respect that confidentiality. It's no different being on the CDP committee than being at the church or being at any other nonprofit organization that has to deal with personal information. It's absolutely no different. It's my responsibility as a licensed security guard to protect life property information, and computer files fall under information. And I'd really appreciate it if you could talk to me privately about this at another time, rather than me going on social media and sounding off on this, because I'm deeply hurt. I'm deeply offended that I get this feeling that you don't trust me. And that's a feeling I shouldn't be having with you. It's like I'm there to do a job. I'm there to cooperate with you. I'm not there to argue with you or fight with you. And I would appreciate your cooperation. And let's work out something that's agreeable to both of us, and still respect the integrity and confidentiality of the information stored on the church's network, and make me feel better and get me to the place where I'm not resenting you for stuff that quite frankly should have been dealt with the first day I started this job as the volunteer web administrator for the church. So, anyways, folks, this was mostly a private rant, but I'm sharing it publicly in hopes that she will respect what I'm saying and actually come up with a strategy that works for all of us, because quite frankly, that security breach shouldn't have happened. It should never have happened. Because the network security key in the Wi-Fi settings, it's people can get access to the password. I've done it. I'm not lying to you. That's how I could log into the Wi-Fi network on my smartphone. Just with that information. Anyone can do it, Brenda. And you got to be on top of this. You have to. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm an honest computer user that knows how to hack safely and knows his boundaries to the point where I'm not accessing confidential information, you would have had a whole host of problems, to the point where people could be stealing information, all with clicks of the mouse, and you wouldn't realize it unless you detected it, or you have software installed on your side that actually tracks that information. I don't know if there's software available that can actually disable the ability for Windows to not show characters for the network security key in Wi-Fi, because that's a very serious security issue and one that needs to be discussed with staff, the church board, every volunteer that is authorized to use computers. Every person that's authorized to use the computers should have a set of guidelines that they have to follow. Simply put, you need to sit down with them and go over it line by line. What the church's expectations for acceptable computer use and acceptable file sharing practices. Because if you don't, your network is open to abuse. And that's the very thing I'm trying not to do here is abuse the privilege of using the computers and the networks. I consider using Bethel's computer network a privilege, not a right, and it could be taken away from me at any moment. It's no different than having a driver's license. Same principle. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up for now. Thanks for watching the remake of Day 25 of the Flog Challenge, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.